Good evening, everyone. Myself, BARIK. I have AYUSH, ANIMESH, MONDAL, and PRIYA Paul in my team, and we are from Group 3. The topic of our presentation is Importance of Bargaining Strategy. Next slide. So now discuss what is bargaining is, what actually bargaining means. So in the social science, bargaining or haggling is a type of negotiation in which the buyer or the seller of a good or service debate the price of the nature of the transaction. If the bargaining produces agreement on terms, the transaction takes place. Although the most apparent aspect of bargaining in markets is an alternative pricing strategy to fixed prices, and it can also include making agreements for credit or bulk purchasing also, so as well as service as an important method or clienting, you can say. And bargaining strategies helps to resolve the conflict through proper communication and understanding of the proper situations also. And next slide. So these slides tells that there are two types of bargaining strategies are there. So firstly is distributive bargaining and second one is integrative bargaining. And in the next few slides, we will discuss more about these types of bargainings and what are they, what are the advantages of those, and what are the disadvantages of those. We'll see this in details. Next slide. From this slide, my friend Ayush will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, SUBHRADIP. So now we will discuss about distributive bargaining strategy, where the main motive is that a fixed amount of resources is to be divided, and the primary motivation is that I win, you lose, and the primary interest is opposed to each other. It's kind of a short-term leadership, and distributive negotiation is competitive and requires that every party views every other party as a competitor. Next slide. Now we will discuss about integrative bargaining strategy, where a variable amount of resources to be divided, and the primary motivation is I win, you win, and the primary interest is convergent or with each other, and it's kind of a long term leadership. And from the next slide, Priya will discuss.
Thank you, Ayush. Now, I would like to explain the need for proper negotiation. As both parties agree to a common solution, the chances of future conflicts reduce to a great extent. Negotiations creates an environment of business success. Good negotiation skills ensure the accomplishment of business goals, which creates an environment of business success. So, negotiation holds the key to getting ahead in the workplace, resolving conflicts, and creating value in contracts. Next. Now, the advantages of bargaining. It saves money and trouble by resolving in a short period of time disputes. It improves communication, maximizing the odds of a positive outcome. It works just as effectively in complex and simple daily disputes. In negotiation, the decision is in the hands of parties. Uh, Thank you. Next, Animesh will continue.
Thank you, Priya. Now, already told about the bargaining advantage of bargaining, Priya, and now I will tell the disadvantage of bargaining. First, the coming to it is prone to inequality. Critics of collective agreement says that the decision can lead to either the employees getting less of what they deserve. On the other hand, if representation for employees is weak, they might not get employment benefits they should be enjoying. And if representation is weak on the side of employers, chance that the business will lose a substantial amount of money from overcompensator or excessive benefits. Now, next point is that it can be biased to employers. Some groups not in favor of collective bargaining argue that his progress gives too much power to employees and leave the employees with tired hands. And when it comes to running their business, since trade unions can demand from employers and ask for collective bargaining negotiation, critics are worried about that this practice may become a habit if in the truth there is nothing irregular with how these employees run their business. And one is this, the next is that it takes a long period of time. Another disseminators claim anti-collective bargaining is the time it takes for the negotiation to finish and materialize. They talk about the buoyancy and what it does to the people involved in progress. And next is the conclusion. Already told about all things about bargaining. My teammates Subhradip and Ayush and Priya. Now I conclude that PPD. This negotiation requires give and take. One should aim to create an courteous and constructive interaction that is a win-win for both parties. That the argument is the entire argument between the employer and associator terminates all the priority agreement and understanding not specifically covered under the terms of this agreement and concludes the all collective negotiation between the parties during the in terms. The board and the association acknowledgement that expect as otherwise expressly provided in the this agreement, they have fully negotiation with the terms and conditions of employee and have settled them for the terms of this is agreement in accordance with the previous stated. Now a good negotiation leaves each party satisfied and ready to do business with each other again. Means all about our PPT. And next is the bibliography, that means from where we take help from to make this PPT. And here are teammates Subhradip, BARIK, Priya, Paul, and myself, ANIMESH, MONDAL, and AYUSH. Thank you.